What is up, people? Hello, hello. Wishing you a happy Sunday. How are you guys doing? If you can hear me, Adi, Harsh, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you clearly.
Awesome. All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this live stream. Good to see you guys. Sunday morning. Let's see who all is here. Owl Gaming, Regal Plays, Jyoti Book Station, Kushal Kapoor, Dhumil Doshi, Aditya Parekh, Shashwat Bora, Owl Gaming again, Shadow Spiky, Bishwajit, Spidey, Riddhi, Samson, Mukut ke Diwane, Kushal Kapoor. Awesome. Great to see you guys. Welcome. Please let me know where you guys are from. I always love to know where my community people are from. Let me know which city you are from, etc., etc. Let me know in the chat. Welcome to everyone. We will start just in a couple of minutes. More and more people are going to be joining. Today is going to be very intense. Today is going to be very, very awesome. So get ready. Okay, now I want to know from you guys who all here has ever used Unreal. Okay, tell me a little bit about your work. Tell me if you guys have ever used Unreal, tell me a little about the difficulties that you're facing, right? Um, Tell me about whether you've been able to understand what you need to understand on the internet. Tell me a little bit about you. Okay, so using Unreal, working on my project. Tell me a little bit about your project. Never used Unreal. Do you guys know what the meaning of level design is? Oh, and of course, tell me what games you play. Tell me a little bit about what kind of games you play, and then we'll get started very soon. Okay. Dipanjan, I'm a professional texture and look dev artist. I wanted to make a game using Unreal Engine. Okay, awesome. Whether so, if you have not used Unreal before, that's fine. If you have used Unreal before, even that's fine. So, what are we going to be doing today here, guys? What we are going to be doing is we're going to be using the Unreal Engine to actually build something. Now, for some of you who may not have used Unreal, it's fine. We're going to try and keep it less technical, right? If you already know Unreal, don't worry, this live stream will be available to you after it's over. And remember, we are going to be doing a series of masterclasses from now on. And you'll be able to actually follow the live masterclass and actually build your own game by learning from this series of masterclasses. This is not just one. We're actually going to be making a series of masterclasses where Adi is going to be building a game level from scratch, which all the functionality. Okay, so without further ado, I shall now call upon Aadi Jain.
Hi, sir.
Hey everyone. So this is Adi. Let me tell you a little bit about Adi. So Adi in Game Maker in design, our first batch was in I think 2020. It's been actually 3 years. It was in 2021 August, and that was the Origins batch, and then the Alpha batch, and I think Adi was from the Bravo batch, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's actually a student of Game Maker, and with good students from Game Maker, I look at them and I say, man, you know what? Let's work together. So Adi actually joined Game Maker as a community mentor, as a community manager, and then he started teaching Unreal because he learned Unreal, he knew Unreal, and then he picked up Unreal. He started actually teaching Unreal within the program, and now also Adi's game, which is Supercharged, is really awesome. It's been doing so well. He's even, it was there at IGDC last year, and it's already on Steam. They're working on that game. This is a game that is going to be big, guys. Supercharged. Adi is the lead developer of Supercharged. It's his game, it's his company. And so, without talking too much, without too much blah blah blah, I will today hand you over to Adi, and he will take it from here. So I will see you guys around. I'm here. See you guys later.
Okay. So, hello everyone. Today's class is gonna be quite simple. We're gonna make it a little bit user friendly, beginner friendly. So if you don't know Blueprint, if you don't know Unreal Engine, it's fine. It's gonna be chain classes. Means after this class, you're gonna do another class later in another weekend, so that we can make a full game out of this basic level blockout. So what are we gonna do today? Basically, we're gonna plan our level design from a 2D outlet, 2D layout to a 3D, blocking out using primitive static meshes, modeling mode inside using Unreal Engine, and we're gonna refine blockouts to make a good level gameplay, right? If we got time, I'm gonna show you how you can play with the collision settings, basically making sure your player don't fall out from your map. Okay, so who can benefit from this most? Usually someone who knows level designing or started doing level designing, who understand 3D architecture, basic 2D 3D architecture, who have installed Unreal Engine. This is called basically gray boxing or level blockout. So this is not, I'm not going to use any high quality mega scan assets to block out the level. I'm going to use primitive meshes. I'm going to use modeling tool to make it quite simple, quite basic. Just to show you some examples, this is one of the blockouts from Last of Us. How many of you have played Last of Us game by Naughty Dogs? Just comment down if you have played the Last of Us 1, Last of Us 2. So this blockout, specifically this blockout, is from Last of Us game, right? Few more examples like this. Top left, you can see this is from Halo. Second is from again Last of Us, where you can see the protagonist moving around, seeing the how to encounter the enemy. Bottom left is from Valorant. Valorant player, what is your favorite map, man? And bottom right, you can see the blockout of Arkham. So as you can see in this images, it is not something which is quite polished. It is not something which is too good visually. The whole purpose of the level blockout is to make sure you understand your gameplay, to convey your idea, to convey your level, to convey your gameplay design to your environment artist. Okay, so that they can make final art from correct size, correct scaling with the help of the blockouts which you have done. We're going to use Unreal for it. Why? Because personally, I feel with the help of Unreal, I can make level blockouts in just few hours. So that's the goal of today's class. We're going to make this 2D layout into Unreal in 3D. Okay. So basically, what is blockout again in short terms, in few points? If you want, you can take screenshot of this PPT of this PDF, right? Blockout is equals to maximum information provided from minimum effort. Okay, communication is important so that your team can understand how's your game gonna fold out, right? And then it is mainly to get to the playable state as soon as possible. Guys, you have to make sure you can play your game as fast as possible, as early as possible. Why? Because then you can test whether your game is fun or not. If you want to make any changes, if you want to change any information, any level design, any gameplay design before you start making final assets, right? So level blockout will help you with that. We're going to use simple structure. It's going to be messy. It's okay. It's fine if it is messy. The purpose is not to make it look good, but to make sure you get the gameplay really fast. You can experience the sizing, you can understand the scaling and everything else. Okay, so one of the possible outcomes which I created before using this layout, 2D layout yesterday only, was this. As you can see right now, I'm going to make this again from scratch in front of you right now in this live class. So don't worry about that, how I did it, what tool I used. For the 2D layout, which I'm showcasing you here, I used Photoshop. As you can see, yellow graph is basically level 1 height wise. Level 0 is basically 2 or 3 tiles below level 1. And blockers are basically can be used as some cubes, or for example, in Valorant game, these are the blockers, right? So red icons denote those. So this is ideally a 2D layout which I made in Photoshop to make myself understand how I'm going to execute the 3D layout of this. So let's go, guys. Let's jump into the Unreal Engine. Are you guys excited? Comment down, right? Let's see. this is our Unreal Engine 5.3. I'm using 5.3 version. It is out, it is stable, you can use it. I'm using a default scene with all the starter content available to me. Okay. If you guys want to follow with the live class, you feel free to follow. If you have any doubt, make sure to comment down so that I can see it. Or you can go to Discord and make sure to type your questions there after the class so that we can answer back. Right? So let's start. Comment down, man. Are you ready? Are you excited for this? Let's make our first map. I'm gonna make a complete new map. As you can see, there's already one map which I created last night for just to practice out, just to see how things can be. Let me do it again for you. I'm gonna go to new level, create a basic layout, and this is my basic layout. Or what? Let me just do it from completely scratch. Let's go empty level, right? So here's my empty level. I'm gonna save it m underscore Unreal Master class. Make sure, guys, whenever you are using Unreal Engine, whenever you are using any engine, you have to maintain the name hierarchy. Why? Because then it will be easy for you and for your team to look around and make things right. So as you can see, our map is completely empty. We can't see anything. So let me just bring down some light and make it look beautiful with Unreal Engine. By the way, I'm going to Window, Environment, Light Mixer, and just gonna click the icons. And here is my scene ready. Quite fast, quite easy, right? Let me just click on the move to and create a new folder out of it so that everything is organized from the start. Lighting, I'm not gonna touch that folder. Why? Because I don't want to. It's not necessary. So let's start. What are we gonna do first? We are gonna first go to the settings, plugins, and switch on the modeling tool. See, modeling tool editor. So make sure, guys, modeling tool editor is on inside your Unreal Engine, inside your plugin. Once you switch it on, you will see a restart now option. Okay, so make sure you restart your engine to use that tool. Again, this is for level blockout. This is not a final game. You can't build. You should not build from a level blockout thing. It is only for you and your artist to understand the scaling and see how the gameplay is. So let me go to the modeling tool, right? And here I can see multiple options. One is create, X-form, deform, model, mesh, voxel, etc. I'm going to explore all of that for you guys. I'm going to show you how I'm creating that level from scratch using specific tools. First, I'm going to go and create a rectangle out of it. So as you can see right now, I have created a rectangle, but it is small. So let me just click on the accepts and increase its size to somewhat called 148 maybe. 148 by 148. Yep. Now this looks good. Let me just rename it to base floor. Why I'm getting a rectangle, not a landscape or maybe something else, is because I'm gonna use this Photoshop layout, which I showed you in the PPT, this one here. I'm gonna bring it here. How? Basically, what I can do is, first of all, let me save it. Yeah, it's quite easy. I can just drag and drop my PNG image. So if I just click and drag and drop, you will see my texture is created already. It is a PNG image. Unreal Engine can take a PNG image, and this is what I have created in Photoshop. So I just drag and drop it into my Unreal Engine, and now I'm going to right click and create a material. I'm not going to do that now because I have already created one material. It is a simple material. What is material? Material is basically a function, a blueprint which contains the texture of your image. It basically convey the information, the visual information from 2D image to the 3D image to the 3D mesh, right? In the later classes, we will explore what is material. Right now, don't worry about it. Just right click, create material. you will have your material here, and I'm just gonna drag and drop it here. So now here is my 2D layout. As you can see, it is quite good. I can see where it is. I can just imagine my whole 3D map around this. Let me just play it and see. So because I used all the starter content, of third person, I have a third person blueprint already available. I have a third person character already available with me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop it down here and play it. Oh, wait, not like this. Uh, where is my player start? Let me just drop the player start first. So in the create option, all classes, search player start and play it. So this will basically play the game. Now I can imagine me moving around the map, how big it's gonna be, how long it will take for me to travel from this point to another point. Okay, I can understand how things gonna be. So let's start making the map. So let me just click on this three line and layout and two panels. Why two panels is so that in the perspective panel, I can be on a top view, so that I can create a top layout, a 3D layout out of this 2D map, out of this 2D texture. Okay, I'm gonna be in an unlit mode so that light doesn't affect my 3D modeling. I will be in an unlit mode, and in the create format, I'm gonna go to extrude polygon. This is like a brush tool. If you guys have used Blender, do you guys know Blender? How many of you have used Blender? Drop down if you have used Blender. So just like in Blender, you can create stuff out of line, out of single vertices. This is something same. Extrude polygon is basically I can draw stuff and then I can extend upon it. Like I can extrude it in the z-axis after drawing it in x and y-axis. X and y-axis is basically, this is x, red, and y is green, and z is up, height, okay, depth. So let me just, in the top 2D layout, in the top layout, in unlit mode, let me just do this, trace my drawing, trace my Photoshop file, so that I can create a 2D layout, right? So right now you can see it is snapping, right? It is snapping and it is kind of blurry. It is kind of hard to work on this. So let me just stop enable snapping. If you guys see, there is a block out. There is a true and false boolean called enable snapping. I can just switch it off and now snapping will stop. So let me just quickly block out the map real fast. Again, this is just a block out. I can change whatever I want out of this. So as you can see right now, this area is little bit not perfectly aligned. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enable snapping and I'm going to make sure it is perfectly aligned horizontally, right? So that whenever I'm creating stairs out of it, it will be easy for me. So I will enable snapping off and then again start making a 2D outline around it. Again, I'm gonna ignore the blockouts. Why? Because that will be covered by some other meshes in the later classes. So this is my 2D layout. If you guys have any questions, if you have any doubt regarding what I'm doing, how I'm doing, if you're missing something, just drop down the comments so that I can see and understand and answer you back after a while. So as you can see, I am almost over creating a 2D layout, and once I connect this vertex, it will start giving me the option to extend it, extrude it in the z-axis. So let's go. Now you can see I can extend it in x-axis pretty easily according to the 2D layout I covered. Okay, so let me just extend it a little bit. So on the top left, I can see the extrude height. I'm gonna make it 100. Why 100? Because so that right now I'm making level 0. This is level 0. I'm gonna make level 1 also, and level 1 will be around 300. Okay, so level 0 can be 100 extrude height. Now I'm gonna also set the material. If you guys also using starter content, in the starter content you will see level prototyping folder where you will find a lot of prototype grid materials. You can just click on them and drag it into the asset like this, or while creating the polygon extrude, you can make sure your material is the same as this, so that whenever I will create a new extruded option, whenever I will create a new material, new mesh, it will already come with this kind of material from the scratch. Okay, so here is my level 0 with good units already there. I'm going to click on complete and I'm going to play to see how things are. So let me just make sure that my player start is at the right place. And now I can play the game. And as you can see right now, this looks good. This looks good. If I'm moving, I can feel that it is little small. So let me just increase the overall size of it. So I will make it around 150, maybe 150 by 150, increase a little bit. And I want to increase it to, so it will be 150 by 150. Okay, it will match the outline. Now, once I'm done creating this side, I'm gonna make level 2 also, which is my green area. Remember, in the PPT I showed you, yellow area level, yellow area is level 1, green is level 0. So let me just create another area which will be something like this. So make sure whenever you are creating an extrude option, whenever you are creating another modeling mesh out of the modeling tool, make sure you do not select anything. It should be empty. You should not be selecting any mesh. Why? Because if you select any mesh and you create anything out of it, it will be combined as a single mesh. You don't want them as a single mesh. You want them as a separate mesh. Why? Because you can then export them separately for your environment artist to make final models. So I'm going to deselect everything by clicking on the empty area inside my outliner and go to extrude polygon again and create this. I'm creating level 1, means it will be a little bit extra. It will have more height compared to the previous one. Okay, so I'm making a little bit changes while making this. Why? Because I know, I feel that that stair, that blue block is too big, right? So I'm making little bit changes. Making this level block out is all about changing them in real time. So now I can compare it. Now I can see that my extrude height of the previous one was 100 here. I will make it 200 or maybe 300 to give it a good height, right? This feels good. So once it is around somewhere around 300, I will left click on it again to make sure it is something different, a separate mesh. Let me just name it level 1. Okay, I'm gonna put this inside a folder also. Move to create new folder, and this will be level block out. Make sure to maintain your folder hierarchy. Make sure to maintain your name chronology so that it is easy for your teammates and for you also to find objects later on. Okay, so let's go. Let's create rest of the part. I'm gonna deselect everything. Go to extrude polygon, and Guys, again, this is important. This is very crucial. If you are making your own game, if you're a one-man army or you're working with a team, this part is very important. If you guys are making your game, so how many of you are making your games? Make sure to show your game, showcase your game, drop down the name of your game which you're building, your genre. And if you guys making your game, then you should know that this part is very crucial, because if you don't have a right sizing, right scaling for your character, then things can feel very different. Things can feel not realistic, but instead you will feel that it is a game made by someone new, right? It will not look professional. Why? Because scaling is not right, ratio between one object to another object is not right, and that can feel very bad, and it can put a bad impression if you are going as a level designer, right? Level designing is not just putting 3D assets, but instead it is deciding the gameplay, it is deciding how things gonna be, how players gonna experience the game, right? So this is, again, I completed this polygon. Now I'm gonna give this a height of 100, right? Because this is level 0, area 2. So I'm going to name this area 2. Why I'm naming this area 2 is because this is a complete different area, but with the same height of level 0. You will see how useful this is in the later in the masterclass, in the end, when I'm going to put the blockers and play it. Why? Because then with the blockers I can move whole area separately. I can make modular blockouts with this. Okay, so just stick to the end to see how I'm using it for the blockouts. Okay, so wow, nice. This feels good already. Let me just create last two areas so that you can see the complete process. And again, by mistake, I click on the modeling tool by selecting something else. So let me just deselect and click on the extrude polygon. And let's create last second area. I'm gonna match the outline because that is what I created in Photoshop. All of this feels good to me, so I'm gonna go and match it. So right now, as you can see, this is not perfectly horizontally aligned, but it's okay. We can fix it later on while connecting with other assets. Right. So let's see. Yeah. This can be fun for some people. For me, it is fun. Why? Because then I have a very major role in designing my game. For my game Supercharged, which is on Steam, uh, last year I showcased this in IGDC, showcased my game in IGDC, and it got a really good response. And this year also I went to Gamescom Europe to showcase it, got an opportunity to showcase there. And how I did, in the first 6 months only, in first 3 months actually, we made our level. We knew what we want, because we level designed it. We blocked out first, and we tested out our mechanic in the blockout level itself before creating the final assets, so that when we got our 3D artist, we asked him to create specifically according to the right scale. We avoided multiple iteration because of this. So yeah, this is a really good tool to use while making your game. Okay, so by mistake, if you do something wrong, just press Ctrl Z, and I can just undo it and do it again. Not a big issue. So as you can see right now, I'm completed with this also. And let me just create it and give it a 300 extrude height, because remember, for the level 1, I'm giving 300 height. So let's go with 300. Yep, it is here. Left click to complete it, and then I'm gonna rename it to level 1 area 2. So here is my last second block out. Now we are just left with, yes, now we are just left with the last row basically. I'm gonna deselect it. This is also level 1, so basically this will also contain level 300 extrude height. So let me just design it in this way. Comment down, guys. What do you think about this? Are you liking it? Are you enjoying it? Will this be useful if you're making games? Those who have experience making games in Unity or Unreal or Godot. So you know
Also, Adi, at some point you can show them the exclusive part of the Discord server, the
yeah,
Unreal program in the Discord server, so they understand what it's like. Because see, there are a lot of people here who have so many questions, who are like, "How are you doing? How are you doing?" And it's really hard because like if you're by yourself, you're learning Unreal by, so you're not part of a community, you don't have a mentor, you don't have a teacher. If you have a doubt, every day you're going to have like 10 doubts, and then you're going to be stuck, and then you're going to be like, how do I clear this doubt, right? So that's the part of being a part of a community, a mentorship, where you have seniors, where you have teachers, instructors. Whenever you're stuck, you can ask them. So, guys,
yeah,
I know you have lots of questions. Join the Discord server. Okay, it's there in the description, and there you have a chance of getting in touch with me. You can comment. There are some channels where you can ask mentors, and whenever we have time, we'll try and answer a question. So make sure you join. Firstly, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel because we are having more master classes like this, and also join the Game Mentor Maker Discord server.
yep. That's right, guys. You should. So the thing is, when I learned Unreal Engine, there was no one to teach me. There was no resource material. I started 2 3 years back, and there was nothing to like learn from. So I started from completely scratch, and now I'm still learning. I'm still exploring the software. Epic Games keep releasing new changes to it. Like modeling tool in 5.2 and 5.1 is a lot different than what it is here in 4.8 of in the Unreal 4. There is no modeling tool. There is a brush edit tool, which is also really good, right? So things are changing. Tech is evolving with time, and we are also updating things with time because I'm learning, and whatever I'm learning, I'm conveying it. I'm passing it on to the students. So yeah, I will show you the Discord channel once I'm done with this, right? So this is our basic layout. We are done with our basic layout. This looks quite good. I'm gonna remove the one panel, and I'm gonna see how this feels. And this looks already good to me. Let's connect all of these bridges, right? So as you can see right now, this is the green section which I created in Photoshop. Why? To make sure that there is a transition from level 0 to level 1. How I'm gonna use it, how I'm gonna do it is basically there are two ways. Either I can change the mesh, or either I can put stairs. I'm going to show you both ways. Okay, so first for this area, I feel because there is a lot of space between this level 0 and level 1, just to show you how big the space is, let me just brought down the third person character so that you can understand. So see, right now there is a lot of space in which player can literally climb up, basically something area like a hilly area, right? So I'm going to create something like that, a slope. I'm going to click on the mesh which I want to change, which is basically level 1. I'm going to go to the model tool, shape modeling, and I'm going to click on polygroup edit. So for those guys who use Blender, who use any 3D software like Maya, Blender, they know what this is. It is quite similar. It is basically your edit tool. Once you press tab inside Blender, it goes to the edit mode, and you can change the faces, you can extrude them, you can change the vertices. It's the same. It is exactly same with just different software and UI. Okay, so I'm going to click on the face. I'm going to click on extrude on the top left, and I'm going to extrude it till I feel right. So I guess this is good. I'm going to left click on it, and now I'm going to try to match it. How? By moving it a little bit left and see where this goes. I will match the vertices also, edges also with this, right? So that it feels same as the same part. The best, what I really like about gray boxing is the texture. As you can see, the grid is matching. It is going with one same, and it feels good. It feels like they are like a simple. They're in a single mesh. They're from a same family, right? So I'm gonna click on the top vertices, and I'm gonna bring them down, and click on accept. Now you can see we have our bridge ready. So let's just play and see if this feels good. This is the base third-person character given by Unreal Engine. In the future classes, we are gonna create our custom character. I can take a class about doing parkour because I've created a complete parkour system for my game. I've created a complete save system for my game using blueprints completely. And for those guys who thinks blueprint is not optimized, it can be optimized if you know how to. I'm getting 200 FPS out of a really good graphic game, right? So it is possible. So this is how connected the vertices. This is how connected the mesh, right? Now let's just go ahead and start connecting everything else also. Then we will place blockers. So let me just click on this polygroup edit. Now, as you can see, this area feels little different. I'm going to extrude it a little bit to match it. Now, in this kind of scenario, the space is not that big, right? If I create the slope will be too steep for a player to climb. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to again deselect everything, go to create, and bring down these stairs. How I did it? Create stairs. So we got stairs immediately. Now I can change the size of it. Let me increase the steps number to somewhere around maybe 20, I guess, right? And increase the height around 20, 15, too low, 18, too high. Let's go with 16.5, yeah, and reduce the width to 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 34. Okay, now I'm gonna make it low. Yes. Okay, cool. This looks nice. Let me just add this into level blockout and name it stairs level 1 to level 0 A2. Okay, level 0 area 2 and level 1 connecting stairs. Let me just play and see how this feels. So let me just go here, right click and say play from here. Let's see. Okay, yeah. This is quite a good stair out of the box immediately, right? I'm gonna make sure it is the child of this object. So I'm gonna right click, attach to drop icon, and I'm gonna drop it here so that it is a child of this. So whenever I will move this, it will move with it. Okay, now this is the advantage of naming your meshes. Why? Because you know where to make a child of it and where you can find it immediately, right? Don't worry about stairs going down. It's gonna be messy, it's gonna be fast. The whole purpose of this is to make it real fast so that we can play test our game and see how it feels, right? So let's connect other side also. Yeah, in this I feel there's a really good space. I'm going to click on this, go to the model, polygon edit tool. And right now, as you can see, this face is quite big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one edge loop. So I'm going to click on the insert edge loop. And as you can see, I can create another edge inside the mesh, which is already there. So I created another edge, done. And I'm going to click on the face and accept it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this one, polygon edit tool, click on the face, extrude it till the end, and after that I'm going to match these sides so that nothing is going out of the way, everything is matching, and reduce the vertices. Perfect. This feels good. I'm going to click on accept. And now our level 0 is connected to level 1, level 1 is connected to level 0 area 2, and level 0 area 2 is connected to level 1 area 2. let's connect this path. Polygon tool. This is again quite big area. I'm gonna insert an edge loop again. Let's do one thing. Let's create edge loop here and here, so that I can click on the face and extrude it. I will rotate it so that it matches the grid lines, and then I'm going to reduce the vertex. Now my area 1 of level 0 is connected to area level 1 of level 1, area 2 is connected to level 0, right? What else is left? This area is connected. Let's connect these two. I'm going to click on this icon, go to the polygon, edit tool, and I'm going to extrude it, make it match the vertices. Oh wait, let me just cancel it and create a stairs here. So in the previously I created this stair, and the same I want to create this stair also. I'm gonna deselect everything, go to create stairs, and the stair is here. And as you can see right now, it is already with the same properties of what I set it last time, right? So this is quite good. But now the thing is, the level 1 area 3 is quite heighted compared to this area, and the stairs are not matching. So because I just created the stairs, I can change the size, I can change the height. So I'm going to make it 20, 25, or let's do 20 and increase the steps to 30. Yeah, and reduce the height again to 15. Yeah, 15 feels good. 18, no, 15 feels good. I want to move it and match it. Yes, accept. Now here is our stairs connecting it to this area. We want to create the walls also, so don't worry about that. I'm going to click on this, and now I'm going to make sure that this area is connected. Extrude. I'm going to rotate it to match the vertices, match the grid lines. Yes, we can do booleans. I'm going to do it. Just wait a while. I'm going to show you how you can do booleans. You can do almost everything which is possible in Maya and Blender regarding editing. Of course, I will not recommend you creating your 3D models here, because this is a game engine, not a 3D modeling tool. But for a good level prototyping, this is a really good tool. And you can do booleans, you can do a lot of stuff. And I'm going to just show you how you can do it. Let me just connect all the bridges, and then it's almost we have completed here. So this area is connected, this area is connected, this area. Okay, good. Now all areas are connected except this one. This is the last one. So let's connect this with stairs. The reason we do this inside a game engine is because so that we can match the scaling, right? If you, for example, create any model in Blender, then you will export this. You can export this. You will export the mesh from Blender to Unreal to check the scaling, and then you will see, oh, this is quite big, this is quite small. Then you will redo it, re-bring it, re-import it, re-export it to see the scaling. But using this will help you a lot and remove that back and forth from 3D modeling tool to engine. Why? Because now you are testing your map with blockouts directly, and then you can just export this mesh into the Blender to your 3D artist so that they can create correct scaled model. You don't have to do the back and forth again and again. It's gonna save time. Why? Because while creating game, it's a long process. It takes months, and level designing itself takes months to finalize. And with this, you can do it very fast. You can see if your idea is good or not, if it is working or not. If it is not, then what you should change, where you should change, where it is engaging, where it is not. So this is quite a map which we have created from scratch right now. Let's create the wall. Let me just play this part also so that uh, okay, we went somewhere else. Play from here. Yes. Yeah. Nice. Nice. It is all here. Our map is working quite good. We can move around, we can jump, we can climb stairs, we can climb steep slopes. Perfect. So let's create the wall. Okay. For the wall, I'm going to use another material which is already present in my prototype tool. Okay. So let me deselect everything. Create 2-panel layout. Go to the top view, unlit, and let's do the wall creation. Again, I will go to the create extrude path. I have to match the area, right? So I will use the same tool, but this time I'm going to enable the snapping, and I will snap to edges so that I can create things real fast. Okay, so here I am snapping to the edges directly. Right, so that I can create things very fast according to the base mesh I have created. Right. So this is a really fast, and I guess I will say easy way to create a good level prototype. Again, this is your not final game. This is not the thing which you will sell. This is not the thing which you will showcase as a final, but instead it is a good prototyping thing for your portfolio. If you put this kind of thing as a level designer in your portfolio, it will play a very heavy role, right? And as a level designer who wants to be level designer, who wants to be technical level designers, they can basically do this. They should do this. They should create levels really fast and play your game, play your map, and see if it's good or not. What is the difference between your map and the one which is created by AAA Studios? One which is how they are playing the story, how they are conveying their story using their level, right? You can practice all of that using this. So here I am done with creating the first section of my walls. I'm going to give it 4 cubes. So if I count 1, 2, 3, 4, let's give it 5. 4, 5. 5 feels good. So for this, I'm going to give a different material, which could be this. No, this. Yeah, this feels good. Let me just see this one also. No, this one feels good. Okay. So before creating more walls, I'm gonna create blockers first. Okay, I'm gonna create blockers first. Why? Because once I create the walls, it will be hard for me to move the blockers around. So I'm gonna hide the wall, and I'm gonna create blockers very first. For the blockers, I will create the material first. As you can see, one is already created. Let me just delete it for you guys. All right, and create another one. But before that, let's just bring our base floor up so that we can see where are the blockers. One is here. I have already marked the blockers in my 2D layout. I will do more. than what it is already there in 2D layout. So I'm going to go to create mode, deselect everything. I'm going to bring down the cylinder first, accept it. Now here's my cylinder. I'm going to make sure it is big enough, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to increase the height a little bit more. Yeah, and I want to accept this. Now I'm going to change the material. Why? Because I need my blockers to look red. So I'm going to take the grid, this one. I'm going to press Ctrl D to duplicate and rename it to blocker. Make sure to rename your stuff. Make sure to name them correctly so that you can search for them pretty easily. Now, once I see, don't get scared of this. This is simple. This is a material instance, a child of master material, a child of material which has all the logic. You only have to change the color. I only have to change the color. So I will go to the surface color and change it to red. And I'm going to change the grid color to white because black will not look good, right? And I'm going to make the subgrid color to be little grayish, right? And let's save this, and I'm going to drag and drop this here. Now here is my blocker. So let's go ahead and create another blockers also. But before that, let me just rename this to cylinder blocker. And remember, I named everything previously. So this is level 0 for which I've created the blocker. So I'm going to drag it under the level 0. Now this is the part of level 0. If I move level 0, this blocker will move with it. And this is a really good thing because in case I want to move my whole area separately, I can do it with this. Okay. So, yes, let's go ahead and create other stuff also really fast. Let me just click on the box, change the material to red one, just drag and drop it here. Or if you're selecting it inside your content browser, you can just left click. You can just click on this arrow to give it that material. Okay. Now I'm gonna click and bring my mesh, and I'm gonna give it a width and a depth and a height. I don't know how much height is good, so I'm just gonna give it something and see with my player how much height is good enough for me. So if I'm gonna take cover, this blocker is good enough for me to take cover, crouch and cover. But games in like Valorant, I don't think so we can crouch. I'm not a Valorant player though, so if it just tell me if they can crouch or not. Comment down chat if they can crouch, and if they can crouch, then this height is good. If they can't crouch, then we will increase the height. What I can do more creatively is instead of just increasing the height, I'm gonna name it box blocker, just a blocker. And I'm gonna make this the child of level 0 first, right? And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna click on the alt and click on the pivot tool to create a duplicate of it, and I'm gonna reduce the size so that I can create something like crates, right? Crate above a crate, which can be used as blocker. If I press shift and end key, it will snap it to the ground, and I'm gonna do this basically. I'm gonna create something like this, right? What I can do, something pretty interesting, is I can click on this blocker. Okay, I can click on this blocker. Let me just create another blocker for you guys to show. So this is my blocker. Now once I've created this another blocker, I can go to the modeling tool. I can click on the plane cut, and now I can cut it into half or something like this. So I can customize my model in whatever the way I want, and this will work perfectly. So let's say I want to create something like here. and I'm gonna click on the plane cut again, and I'm gonna do it like this, right? I wanna create something like this. This makes sense to me, and I wanna extrude it a little bit, right? And what I can do, one more thing is, I will use a boolean. How? Let me just create another box. I will deselect everything. I will bring down another box. Doesn't matter what the size is. I will make sure that I want to create a window out of it, right? So a window like this will make sense, right? So now what I'm going to do is, just like you do booleans in Blender to cut out a mesh out of it, I'm going to do it same. I'm going to select this mesh. I'm going to select the mesh from which I want to cut things out. I'm going to click on the model, and there are multiple options. One is boolean, one is mesh cut, and another is trim. If I click on the trim, you can see a window is created from the both sides depending upon the mesh which I've selected. So as you can see right now, if I move the mesh, the hole is moving also. If I change the mesh from trim A to trim B, it will do vice versa. Basically, it will cut the mesh into half depending upon the first mesh which I've created. So I'm going to do trim A because I want to create the window, and you can see how my window is going to look. Another thing which I can do is I can go to the boolean and I can click on the boolean. Now boolean, the difference between boolean and trim is basically, in the trim you can see things outside. The normals are not right? Now this is not the issue with boolean. Okay, it is creating a perfect window out of the mesh. I can reduce the mesh and create something like this to give it a more detailed look, to give it a more better look, right? But for now I want to create a window, so I will create a window. I will accept the thing, and now my window is here. I will say wall block out with window. Okay, and it will go under this. Now I'm gonna make blocker 2 and blocker 3 the child of main blocker, so that when I move main blocker, blocker 2 and 3 child will move, and this thing can be completely separate. I'm gonna click on the world origin. I'm gonna click on this to make the transform according to the world. I'm gonna move it, right? Now I have cylindrical blocker, I have few crates kind of blocker, and one big window blocker, right? Where I can hide, shoot, and aim from between the window, okay, through the window. So I'm gonna shape it according to the area which I have created inside the 2D layout, as you can see right now, right? I'm taking some time here to create the first block out, and then I'm gonna do it real fast so that we can finish creating our first block out map pretty early, right? So here it is, something like this. So basically this could be a kind of a choke point where player can put something, maybe charging something, like in Valorant you put a spike, right? So yeah, this is my first ever blockers which I've created for this. Now let me just duplicate it and place it everywhere. Okay, so I'm gonna click blocker 1 2 3, alt move to duplicate it. I'm gonna move it at different places so that it makes sense, make it better, right? I'm gonna make it beautiful. I'm gonna make it look good with the
Adi,
blockers.
we are at 11 o'clock now. So let's do a few more minutes and then leave the remainder for the last live stream. Okay?
Yes, sir. Not sure. So here is the blocker. So let me select this. Now let me just switch on the extrude option, the one which we have created wall through, right? And let's create the remaining wall of the first level, 0. create extrude polygon. I'm gonna reduce the base flow so that I can see the area, right? And I'm gonna create the remaining block out. Guys, this is again quite easy to do, depends upon how good you are with 3D softwares, 3D modeling tools, right? This is not something difficult. This is not something which requires coding. This is not something which requires blueprint. This is working out of the box directly using Unreal software, directly creating a new map and creating my first ever block out using this tool. Yes. Now I'm gonna give it a size of 4 cubes. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Half up, half down. I'm gonna change the material because wall material is different. I'm gonna change the material. Let's create the remaining area and cover it up so that our level 0 is finished. And we have a one complete blockout map ready. One, two, three, 4. Complete. So as you can see, my blockout is here. One level is almost there. Just to show you guys, because I have created this previously also, and we have a little bit less time, what I want to do is, remember, if this is happening to you, it's because your player start is stuck somewhere else. Make sure to free it from the zone, and as you can see, we have our blockers here. Work showcasing a quite good thing. Now, remember, whenever you are creating these models, these are inside your content browser. If you just right click and browse to asset, it will take you to the content browser where all of these assets are already present. As you can see, whatever I have created is here. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go to the map which I created for you guys to see the final product, which I did exactly same thing. Okay, so let's just go to the level design map which I created. And in this map, that window is missing. So just for you guys, I'm going to drop that window here. Okay. Basically create a blocking area so that players can hide themselves and then shoot also from the window while defending themselves. So this is how your map can look if you do basically create a good level prototype, level blockout using correct materials, making sure your wall looks different, your floor looks different, and your blockers are looking different. It looks good in terms of visually as a level blockout. And now I can understand if this map is too big for me or too small for me, if this blockers is too big for me or too small for me, if players should jump from them or not. So as you can see, I can jump on them, and this can create an issue. So if I don't want my players to jump, I have to make sure the height should be increased, right? Here's a slope.
See, that's the thing about level design, guys. You have to understand. I saw some people saying that I'm going to make a level in Blender and then import it into Unreal. See, that doesn't work because the whole fun of level design is you place something, you create something, and then you play, and then you see if it's working or not, and then you increase or decrease the height. Are you going to really stop Unreal and then go back into Blender and then change it and then import it again? No. Which is why it makes sense to actually create the entire level in Unreal. So that's what he does. Okay. Now, Adi, why don't you quickly just show them Supercharged?
Oh, sure. I can like
Okay.
what
Just
you
share
want
your
to show?
screen. Guys, take a look at Supercharged. Okay. This is the game that
Let me
uh,
let me
Adi's
share
team
the
has
super.
created in Gamer to Maker. Just show him. Like this will blow your minds. It's super cool.
Let me just show them the Unreal file itself directly,
Yeah,
and
yeah. Wow. Okay.
how
The
complicated
total.
it is usually with blockers
Yeah.
and everything else around,
Oh yeah.
right?
Show them the level for Supercharged. That's amazing.
Okay, so guys, this is before post processing. So I'm redoing things. Using post process to make it much better. If I The basic difference is all of this is first created using blockers. Me and my teammate Rahul, Rahul Naidu, not Rahul sir. There's another guy with my team named Rahul. So he helped me creating the level design. He helped me creating the block out of this, and then we created the whole block out of this area, right? Everything is created from scratch. Every model is created from scratch in Blender. Even the texturing is done from scratch using Substance Painter and imported. Everything is super optimized, and what you are seeing here is basically the blockers, the trigger points, which player will interact with, which player will see, the enemies, right? There's a whole code backend going on. The levels are divided separately. So there's a thing called level sub levels, which will basically remove my assets but keep my blockers. It will remove my lighting and it will remove my blockers but keep my assets, right? So I have divided everything into different levels to load them accordingly where my player is. Now, if I play the game,
What kind
is
of computer do you have? Tell us about the specs of your own PC, Adi.
Okay. So let me take you back. When I started this game, I had 2070 Super with RT 2070 Super with Ryzen 7. Now I have RTX 30 Ti with Ryzen 9, fifth generation with 64 GB, no, 128 GB RAM, and 2 TB NVMe SSD, three monitors. Yeah, it's quite a heavy setup, but with RTX 30 Ti. And guys, you don't need to worry about having a setup like this to work in Unreal Engine. If you know optimization, if you understand optimization, which we teach in Gamer to Maker, you can make a good game like this. So this game give me around 150 to 160 FPS in GTX 1050. Okay, completely blueprint. All Everything in high graphics give me around 140 150 fps easily in GTX 1050. Previously it used to give 80-40 fps, but I have optimized it so that it can run pretty easily, right? To run Unreal Engine you need a medium PC, I will say, not a high-end PC, a medium PC, but you need a PC which can basically handle Blender, Unity, everything software is like at a good level, right? So if I just play in the game, I can teach you how to create a custom character which can do basic things like this. I can create platforms. Okay. I suck at my own game sometimes, but yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So, guys, this was the Unreal Masterclass. Let us know in the comments how it was. If you liked it, also please give us suggestions. You can give us suggestions here. You can come to the Discord channel. You can comment on this video in YouTube. This video is going to be there for everyone to see. So relax. And also, by the way, guys, I'm going to upgrade my SteamYard subscription. So from next time, we're going to have a 1080p stream. I was supposed to do it this morning, but I forgot. So next time, we're going to have a 1080p stream. So you can actually see all the details of the Unreal इंटरफेस इन इट ओके वो स्ट्रीम यार्ड में डबल पैसे देने पड़ते हैं ठीक है तो मतलब ठीक है आई पे एक्स्ट्रा आई पे डबल आई हैव टू पे $30 a month just to have a 1080p but it's okay we'll do it we'll invest in that so thank you guys so much for today and we will be doing this regularly okay so this same level Adi is going to actually create it from scratch so make sure you subscribe to Instagram as well because you will keep coming to know about the masterclass as Adi will have it. We will actually build this level from scratch. And those of you who are interested in learning directly from Adi, having Adi as your mentor and teaching you Unreal, you know where to find us. Gamer to Maker, link in the description. So thank you guys so much.
So you want me to show them the Discord?
Yes, yes. You can. I think time ho gaya abhi. I mean, everyone gets it. Next time, next class, we'll show it. Okay. Thank you
For sure.
so much. Thank you, Adi, and
Thank you, sir.
everyone. Enjoy your Sunday, and I will see you around. Let's go.